Slime lab number 1. So I got my bowl and I got my measuring cup and I added the glue, and it was about 4 ounces, so I added it to the half a cup. And then I went and I filled it up at the sink and I got some water. So there I am getting water. And I didn't want to use food coloring just because I wanted to see how it would be white, and I didn't really have a good amount of food coloring that I wanted to use. So there I am mixing it, and then I got my bowl and I'm about to add some water and then a teaspoon of the borax powder, which is the borate, and that's gonna add a more elastic texture, and when mixed with the polyvinyl acetate, it's gonna make it less sticky and more elastic. So there I am opening the borax. Very exciting, very exciting. And so I'm measuring it out, I put it in the bowl, and then I'm gonna just mix that up so that it's all together, and I'm gonna slowly add the glue and water mixture. There I am mixing. It was kind of hard to mix just because it was like very sticky. So I got a fork out because I thought that would work better instead of the knife. And so there I am mixing, not very gently, it was kind of splashing a lot. And then I started to realize that it was mixing together, so I got a little excited. Then I reached and I got it. See, I don't look very happy because it was kind of sticky. But yeah, there I am kneading it. And I was confused because I was like, what am I supposed to do with this extra water? Then I realized that it was fine. So there I am, there's me with the slime. It's kind of slippery, falling out of my hands, very exciting. And yeah, there's just me playing with the slime. I had a lot of fun with this lab. Had to roll up my sleeve really quick. Yep, there's the slime. My sister and I played with it later, and it was really fun. So yeah, there is the slime lab. So here's the slime, here's me playing with it. And look, it's very stretchy, very cool. Fluffy slime lab. So for the fluffy slime lab, I'm adding the glue to the measuring cup, and I was trying to get every last bit out because I was finishing the bottle. So there I am, get every last bit of the glue out, then got the new glue to finish up the 2/3 cup. So this is the polyvinyl acetate, which is like very sticky and liquidy. Same ingredient that we used in the regular slime. So there I am, finished adding it. I'm getting a bowl out and a measuring cup. So there I am adding it to my bowl so that I can mix it all up. Gotta get all the last bits out so I make sure it's most accurate. And then going to the sink to fill up some water. I think that was 1/4 cup of water, and I made sure it was like room temperature just because I figured that would be the best, not too cold, not too hot. Added some baking soda. There I am mixing it, and then I was mixing it and I realized that I didn't quite know when to add the shaving cream, so I start to get kind of confused. I'm reading the instructions, but then I figured that I should probably just go ahead and add like 1 cup. So here I am trying to figure out what to do. This was one of the mistakes that I made during the lab, was that it wasn't major, but I just didn't quite know when to add it. So here I am adding like 1 cup of shaving cream, and I made sure it's shaving cream, not shaving gel. There I am mixing that, and I think the video cuts, but I added like another cup of shaving cream just because I didn't quite know at first like if I should do 1 cup or not. So that's me mixing. I had already added the 2nd cup, that's why it's on my hands. And then here is the slime. It was really, really fluffy and really fun to play with, so that's me playing with it, and it worked out really well. So that is the fluffy slime lab. It was really cool how it wasn't sticky because of the borate baby diaper. So since I live in Virginia, my parents weren't able to get alcohol that was at the percentage that we needed, and so I did the baby snow secret lab, which is really interesting because I used to, when I was little, I would play with snow, like fake snow that we got at the store, and it was pretty much the same stuff, so it was really cool to make it. So I got my diaper that I got from my friend who has a younger brother. So here's me, I cut open the diaper and here's me pulling out the foam, which was really messy. You can see like all the powder and stuff is going everywhere, and there I am putting it into the clean Ziploc bag, and there was a ton of snow. I made sure to do this, or not snow, fuzz, and so I made sure to do this over a piece of paper, that way any leftover powder, like wherever it went, I didn't lose the powder. And so here I am getting all the powder out. I shook it a couple of times just to make sure all of the ingredients from the diaper were onto the paper, and so I put it in the bag, and then I shake the diaper some more, make sure everything's out. I also used a pull-up for this, which I was worried that it wouldn't work as well because it's bigger and not, like, I didn't know if it was the same thing. So I was a little bit worried about that, but it ended up working out fine. So there's me, I was just making sure I got everything out. There was honestly probably still more powder left that I couldn't get out, so I probably could have made more if I'm being honest. But here's me just shaking it, trying to get all of it out. You can see on the camera, like in the video, that there's like a lot of powder going on, and then it said to blow into the bag, so that it was kind of like a pillow. So made sure it was really sealed, and then I shook it up and got all of the powder and the fluff separated, which was kind of hard because the fluff kept separating from, or like it kept sticking to the powder, so I was a little bit worried about that. And then I was noticing that there wasn't a ton of powder, like in the pictures on the lab there was a lot, or not a lot more, but there's like, they definitely had more. So there's me separating the fluff from the powder. You can see it's kind of messy. So yeah, that's how much powder I had. So I poured it into my cup, and you can't see, it's off the frame, but I poured it into that cup. There wasn't a ton. I shook it off my hand, made sure everything was in there, and then I measured out half a cup of water, but I was just a little bit worried that since I didn't think I had enough powder, that like I was worried about adding too much water. So I measured it out, and then I just added a little bit at a time. So yeah, I added like half of it. I mixed it with my finger, and I didn't think it would get thick so quickly, so it got really thick. Added some more water, mixed it, and it kept thickening even as I added more water, which was really cool. So then we added all the water, and we got the fake snow, which was really, really cool. And yeah, it spilled a little, but that's just because it wasn't like flat in there. And kind of felt like a Dairy Queen worker when I was looking that over, like I was giving them their blizzard, and that is the final product. It was really, really cool. Super Bowl 2 lab. Okay, so here I am just measuring like 2 tablespoons of Elmer glue or polyvinyl acetate into this cup, and it was kind of hard to measure the glue like using a tablespoon just because it kept sticking. So I poured it in, and then I just like ended up adding a tiny bit of extra just to like make up for what was left in the measuring cup or the tablespoon. And so then I'm adding borax. I added half a teaspoon of that to the glue, and then I got out a butter knife and stirred that up, and it immediately started like clumping up. Like I could definitely see them combining and like forming a bond and becoming like, I could see how the borate was kind of diluting the stickiness of the glue. So there's me mixing that up until I saw like a solid chunk that was sticking to the knife. There we go. And so I went over to the sink and got it out, and the cup fell into the sink, so it made a lot of noise. But there's me just running it under room temperature water to like get all of the excess off and make it like not sticky at all anymore. So, and then it slipped out of my hand because it was really slippery. So I then dried it with a paper towel, and one of the mistakes I made with this lab was that I didn't quite mold it into a perfect bowl when I was running it underwater, so here I am fixing that mistake. And it was really bouncy. It kept like, it didn't go in like a great direction, like it kept going everywhere, and I think that's just because it wasn't a perfect ball. And there it is, really bouncy, silly putty lab. Here I am just measuring out 1/4 of a cup of Elmer's glue. At first I actually made a mistake when I was doing this, and I put all the ingredients right like into the mixture with the Elmer's glue. There I am adding 1/4 cup of water to a bowl, and then I added a tablespoon of borax, and because this was a lot more borax than like the slime, it became an elastomer, which makes it very elastic, which is why you'll be able to see at the end, instead of just like stretching and stretching and stretching, you can actually snap the silly putty. But you can also keep stretching it, and that's because of the elastomer, which has a lot of elastic properties because of the chemical bonds. There's me mixing it with a toothpick, and it was really cool. There it is. At first, I was like, there's no way this is gonna work, just because like you can see all over my hands, it was like very, very sticky, and it wasn't really becoming, like the glue wasn't becoming diluted enough by the borax until I kept kneading it and forming the chemical reaction because of temperature from my hands. And so there I am continuing to knead it, and it's just like still all over my hands. And then I started to realize that it was working, and I could get it like off my fingers, so I was getting it off my fingers, and it's really cool. And it was actually just like silly putty at this point. Like, it wasn't sticky at all, and all the pieces that were on my hand ended up like coming off just by touching it. And there I am, I snapped it. It was really, really cool. And yeah, so you can see my hands are like, there's nothing on my hands pretty much because of the borate mixed with the glue, which is really cool. And yeah, look at that. And so there's me playing with it, and then here's a video of me playing with it again. It's so cool.